I have to help this customer. If you have other things to do, maybe you could come back later?
Alex, this whisper chip you gave me, it's an easy plant?
You're heading into TF-29? Already?
Our enemies aren't waiting around while we lick our wounds.
Fair enough. There'll be a data port on the NSN's motherboard. Access it and then just plug and play. Or plug and record in this case.
Got it. I'll let you know when it's done.
Right now, I think my blood is about to. These guys are planning to buy off. We still have no idea who they were. Thanks. Nah, we're looking into it. I'm right. It'll take them a while to.
Listen up, team. What's our status? Where was that chopper headed?
I have 3 airfields in Qatar that are promising, but they're privately owned, and nobody can get close enough to take a look.
I got a whole lot of nothing. Every time I send someone to follow up on a lead, it turns out the buildings are abandoned, burned out, or bombed into rubble.
Jesus Christ.
Satellite footage has identified 3 possibles, but based on what the roads look like around them, I don't think our crashes would have chosen them.
Well, they were gonna take all those weapons somewhere. I want to know where, now.
Right now, I think my blood is about 60% caffeinated.
I can't really talk to you now. I'm busy. Nobody gets a break around here. Our intel prevented an arms shipment, but now they want to know where it was going. Nobody gets a break around here. Our intel prevented an arms shipment, but now they want to know where it was going.
There was another attempt to breach our firewall last night. The reason I know it isn't the Juggernaut Collective who tried to hack us is that they gave up after only an hour.
Anomaly detected. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Jakarta's no picnic right now, I'll tell you that.
They've been everywhere. It'd be easier if someone would just step up and do it.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Co jsi sakra zač? Nějaký chodící detektor lži nebo co? Vy si myslíte, že mě tímhle zlomíte? Neřeknu vám vůbec nic.
Somewhere in this city, there's a mob-owned casino in the sewer. Now I've heard everything.
Anomaly detected. Access granted.
Ursa Meyer, report to Cybercrime. Agent Meyer to Cybercrime.
They have better software. Satellite offices are always too big. You think one of them will pop off these lists?
Everything's got pretty hairy in Dubai. These are the chances he knew he was taking. The Jinn still believe what's being told them or don't they? We need to know. These are the chances he knew he was taking. Everything's got pretty hairy in Dubai.
You think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere?
They've been everywhere for a Do the Jinn still
One of them
believe
would
what's
pop up on
being
some
told
list
them?
somewhere.
We need to know.
I've been trying to ID the bodies of the people who crashed the operation in Dubai. I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing. This is so weird.
Adam, how's it going? Any trouble with the plant?
Patience, Alex. Trying to find the best way to access the motherboard without blowing my cover.
Sorry, man. Message received.
This is so weird. These guys might as well be ghosts.
State police says they're still holding our bodies.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some lists.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
The last team walked straight into an ambush.
I'm working on identifying the bodies from the train station. Maybe we'll get lucky and one of them will have known terrorist connections.
Some people are bored by reconnaissance footage, but I love it.
You probably haven't heard yet, but TF-29 now has an official psychologist.
The thing about the Russians is they never tell you the whole story.
Not now, Jensen. Dealing with the situation here.
I'll run it through a few filters, see if I can clean it up.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
We're trying to locate where the Crashers were going to stash those weapons you intercepted, but it's mostly guesswork.
No one's claimed responsibility.
In the last 2 days, web traffic in Prague has gone up 73%.
These are the chances you need. They've been everywhere.
Run DNA checks of all the opportunities.
Adam, you're here. You made it in. It's good to see you're okay.
Hey, Aria, yeah, it was a close call. I got lucky. A lot of people didn't.
I was here working when the first reports came in. It was chaos. Phones ringing off the hook, people yelling, scrambling to find out what was going on. Then when Miller told me you were there,
I'm all right.
Good. You looking for him? Because he's tied up right now and meeting with Lyon, I think.
Really? He's using the NSN right now?
Yeah, I just saw him. Oh, hey, that reminds me, here's yours.
What's this?
The card for the shooting range. Chang changed all the codes this morning, said something about only giving access to people he's vetted personally. The bombing really freaked him out. Third one in 6 months, can you believe it? I'm really glad you're okay.
Thanks, Aria. I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
Yeah, I better get back downstairs. It's gonna be a busy day. Come by later if you want to talk.
Copy that.
Last night, the collective published the tax returns of 50 rich people in Switzerland. It made me feel very listening to this. I'd rather not say what this reminds me of.
But they're never going to beat the time to broadcast that sweatshop.
Jensen, we need to talk.
Am I hearing things? Are you two actually praising the collective?
We're comparing notes. If we don't learn the way these people think, we'll never track them down.
They don't want to be caught in dragnet.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated.
Guys, might as well be ghosts.
Access granted.
I think one of them would pop up and some lists. Right now, I think my blood is above. You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Negative. They're saying it was faulty wiring. No, that's not consistent with the train station cameras.
For crying out loud.
All the data I have right now.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
Composition could tell us a lot, but it's the trigger that really does the talking.
Our arms dealer Shepard, aka John Trent, is a former Special Forces commander and ex-Bell Tower operator.
I'm the guy doing this
And
fucking
as
job.
is typical for those
You.
ex-Bell Tower employees, he's been selling off old Bell Tower tech and weapons. But we don't need to worry about him anymore. He was killed by those gold mask guys in Dubai.
I don't even know where to start with theorizing
You'd think
percentages.
one of them would pop up on some list.
They're like serial killers.
This
Deep
guy
down,
is
they
the
all
face
wanna
of the
be
Jinn and a charismatic force of nature. They call him the Bull of the North and the Heart of the Jinn. Real name Solar. Works in conjunction with his cold and calculating brother, Wasim, who saved his life during the AUG incident. He is proudly augmented and parades his AUGs around wherever and whenever he likes. The hatred of AUGs from groups around the world has only emboldened him and his organization.
What I hear, the explosives were designed to get maximum.
Wasim Alam, the head of the Jinn, former limb clinic doctor and surgeon before he turned to more profitable enterprises. He brings the same cold and calculated approach he brought to saving lives to running his business with his brother, Solar. Agent Singh, great poker player. I still owe him 100 credits. So I hope his incursion with the Jinn lasts another few months. You know, maybe he'll forget I owe him the money. The elusive Radic Nikoladze. This guy's a piece of work, driven and ruthless. When he came up, he was the youngest boss in the Duvali crime family. The man spends more money on suits than most people spend on their houses. But don't let the looks and the haute couture fool you.
I'd love to get
He's
a
the
look at the
boss,
boss
he's in
fight
control,
myself, but
and he
no
squashed
dice,
more than a
not
few
our show.
people who've tried to take him down along the way.
I'd rather not say.
I think one of them would pop
Oh,
up.
here we go. The Diwali crime family.
State police are
As you
playing
may already
stingy
know,
with
they're one of the
sharing
largest
evidence.
crime syndicates in Eastern Europe, but they do business almost everywhere, from Northern Europe all the way to the Middle East. After their humble beginnings in a coastal town in Georgia, the Diwali quickly moved from gambling to more lucrative criminal enterprises, till they found their
designed to get
specialty,
maximum
smuggling,
spread.
which includes human trafficking too. The Diwali can get anything to anywhere. It's as if borders just don't exist to them. But their rapid expansion came
There isn't much here to go on.
security when they started incorporating an ever-increasing number of Russians into the group. If you ask me, I think a major power struggle is coming within the Diwali. One of the old versus the new. The past versus the future.
It's the trigger that really does the talking.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
The classic Diwali structure has two spies, or pakhans, working for the lieutenant who report directly to the boss, to make sure he stays the boss. Those guys are pretty violent.
I don't even know where to start with theorizing percentages.
Ah, the Diwali called this guy Constantine. Like that's supposed to be intimidating, right? We don't have a last name for Constantine, but until his death in the Rizika bombing, he was a high-placed member of the Diwali crime family, answering to Otar Batkavelli. We suspect he has lots of connections in the upper echelons of the organization, all the way up to Rajesh Nikoladze and beyond. Between you and me, I suspect that he's a Pakhan, a spy that watches a Diwali lieutenant closely to make sure he doesn't make a move on the boss.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
You know, I thought Otar was going to go all the way. I think he had potential. But now he's just another casualty. It's too bad, in a way, you know? There aren't enough of these classic gangsters around anymore. People have respect for tradition, even if it is criminal tradition.
I've been scrubbing through garbage for hours. Still nothing.
Venom, Otar's former number 2, now deceased. Another one bites the dust, I guess. Good riddance, I say. There's always too many petty crooks out there. You know as much as I do about these guys. They're augmented, well-trained, and very dangerous. And they seem to be massing weapons and augs for some sort of attack. We don't know what yet.
Myself, but no dice, not our show. I highly doubt
You've heard of these guys. ARC, or the Augmented Rights Coalition. They're a human rights group who, on the surface at least, is trying to provide equal rights for augmented people. It was started by Dr. Talos Rucker, soon after the AUG incident when Rucker started to speak out against the anti-AUG legislation that was being passed by several local governments. If you ask me, it's not working. Things seem to be getting worse. ARC preaches non-violence, but a string of terror attacks has put them on the terror watch list. So I'll let you be the judge. Dr. Talos Rucker, former limb clinic doctor and current leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition. Rucker has chosen to leave his native Germany and to live in the Utelek complex near Prague as a protest to draw attention to the upcoming Human Restoration Act vote. Rucker is a pacifist and believes that what is happening in Prague is what will happen all over the world if the Restoration Act becomes law.
Explosives were designed to get maximum spread.
State police are playing stingy with sharing evidence.
Here we go. The Church of the Machine God, and to some, the Church of the Machine, without the God. And then again, to others, the Singularity Church of the Machine God.
Negative.
This group has so many names and subgroups, it's hard to keep track. And believe it or not, they've been around in one form or another since the early 1970s. There are a lot of contradictory reports on who they are and what they want, but in general, they all want the same thing. They want to merge their consciousnesses and become one with the Machine God through a ritual they call Ascension. Samizdat is an underground news outlet that likes to think of itself as the real news. They are anti-establishment and anti-almost everything else, including business addresses, so we like to keep our eyes and ears open for any mention of them.
There isn't much here to go on.
I've been scrubbing through garbage for hours.
Janus. I mean, what can you say about him? Or her. Nobody really knows who or what Janus is. But what many believe is that Janus is running the most dangerous hacking group in the world, attacking corrupt politicians and businesses on a global scale. The corporate world is terrified of Janus.
This is so weird.
The Church of the Machine God has a leader, but all we know about her at this point is that she's a woman and they call her Mother. That's creepy, right? I think that's really creepy.
No, it's the right call. I'm relieved, to be honest.
There's a rumor that the Church of the Machine God is building a machine that will help bring forth the Singularity. Sure, I guess that's a possibility. I'm just not sure what they would plug that machine into.
Is it or is it not a probable target?
The New Sons of Freedom, or NSF, is a small group of militant constitutionalists and secessionists operating in the continental United States, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. The group was formed as a reaction to the American government's increasingly authoritarian regime. NSF is committed to fighting the influence and control of a group of unknown people they believe to be the Illuminati with strategic guerrilla warfare strikes. They are suspected of having ties with Janus and the Juggernaut Collective.
Explosives were designed to get maximum spread.
Ah, what to say about the Juggernaut Collective that isn't speculation. A bunch of their members were running operations out of Montreal in 27, resurfacing for a while in 28. You heard of the Rifleman Bank Station? Bell Tower? Anyway, the Collective is a group of hacker activists, or hacktivists. Oh, God, I hate that word. Dedicated to the cause of freedom. At least that's what they say, or what their actions appear to say. They fight corruption by exposing hypocrisy and protecting the unprotected. No one knows the real power structure inside of the Collective, but there is one name that echoes over the darknet. And that name that echoes even louder than Hex, and you can talk to Peter Chang if you don't believe me, that name is Janus. And some say Janus runs everything, while others think there is no Janus.
On some list somewhere. These guys might as well be ghosts.
I just wish someone would nut up and take the blame. Composition could tell us a lot, but it's the trigger that really does the talking.
The police are playing stingy with sharing out.
They may have bad, but we got this.
Shot action would be great if we were wrong.
You think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere?
In yet another augmented terror attack, 251 passengers aboard Cessna Airlines Flight 451 were killed when an augmented passenger broke into the plane's cockpit and ruthlessly butchered its flight crew. Details recovered from the black box recorder suggest that the man may have been suffering flashbacks from the AUG incident. That horrible day 2 years ago when augmented people all over the world flew into a psychotic killing spree, causing the greatest loss of life in recent history. I cannot speak for you folks, but terrifying memories of that day still haunt me. It will certainly be a while before any of us forget it. This is Eliza
explosives were designed to get maximum strength.
Live from Picus. Exclusivity. Anonymity.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
These are the greatest concerns of the digital age, and we at Palisade Property Bank have made addressing those concerns a priority. Information on
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list.
They have better software. I think Singh's got some kind of adrenaline addiction. He plays it too close to the edge. You mean like I'm telling you, if it's been anyone to get Singh would be
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
I think Director Miller's making a mistake, putting all our resources into finding these Dubai newcomers.
Could the good doctor be changing his tune?
Agent Jensen!
Your guess is as good as mine. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you live.
You'd think one of them would
from
pop up on
Picus.
some list somewhere.
Picus News, the global leader in fair, unbiased, and impartial reporting. And now for a close look at the events making headlines around the world. Here are
I've
our
run
top
DNA
stories.
checks through all the alphabet
Is
nations.
freedom of the
Nothing.
press a threat to our freedom? In the hands of irresponsible journalists, it can be. Underground websites and radio stations continue to praise the Juggernaut Collective, an
This is
elusive
so
group of
weird.
vigilante hackers for exposing big money corruption. What these journalists overlook, however, is the damage these hackers leave in their wake.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet
The
agencies.
collective
Nothing.
shut down London's traffic grid, causing gridlock for hours and preventing life-saving medical transports from
First the Dubai mission and now the train station bombing. This is a week for the record
might as
books.
well be ghosts.
when they rigged the electronic voting system and elected hacked combat drones attacked St. Petersburg. And in the U.S., millions of workers lost their jobs when the collective leaked classified corporate documents, causing several Fortune 500 companies to go bankrupt. Between you and me, folks, the Collective is one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the world, despite whatever praises the underground media wants to sing. This is Eliza Cassan, reporting to you live from Picus.
Ariel is constantly bringing you the best and latest technology. Our portable data solution has massive storage capacity, flexible screens, and over 1,000 other unique and patented features.
Is there something I can help you with, Agent?
I hear you're on point looking into the gold mask mercs that hit us in Dubai. Any leads yet?
Christ, I know I'm good, Jensen, but I've only been on it for 5 minutes.
A lot can happen in 5 minutes, McCready. You check with the ME yet? Get anything off the bodies we recovered?
Leftovers are on ice at the Oman substation. I've been told they were scrubbed clean as summer whites. No prints, no dental, no nothing.
So in other words, it's no steps forward and 2 steps back.
For now. That's why it's a good thing you disabled the Jinn's comms booster in Dubai. Singh's cover with the Jinn is still intact. I'm hoping once he's back in Basra, he can use his network to dig around. Maybe these gold mask jokers will ping locally. Probably another fucking jihad looking to make some noise.
I don't know. I'm not so sure we should be looking for these guys in the desert.
Ah, is that so? You have some new information you feel like sharing?
Come on, McCready. These guys were augmented with military-grade hardware. Body augmentation goes against Muslim beliefs. They weren't jihadists. We're dealing with something new here.
I can see where you're going with this, Jensen, and I'm asking you right now to back off it. It's not your case.
Come on, McCready. We're not a couple of beat cops filling a monthly quota here. This isn't about whose collar it is. It's about getting the people responsible. Full stop.
Look, I get what you're saying, but I'm working a $5 investigation on 50 cents worth of shit. I've got speculation to spare, mate. Listen, I know I come off strong. I've got 3 ex-wives that'll back that up. But that's just how I'm built. Putting on a show for the new guys and gonna change what's underneath.
I can appreciate that kind of honesty.
Good. So when I say I'm impressed with how you handled yourself in Dubai, you can appreciate that I meant it. With that sandstorm giving us colonics, stripping the juice box out the chopper was an inspired choice. But that mission is over, and your involvement in it ends now. Got it?
Yeah. But tell me, why do you think the bodies from Dubai were sent to Oman?
Fuck knows. Rumor is that Oman was pissed that we got the green light for the gig in the first place. Can't blame them, really.
You don't think it's strange we got the call over them?
I stopped questioning the logic of the big noise a long time ago. What I'm told is we were the only team ready to go.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
So then you know what I know. Is that everything?
How the hell did you get such a sunny disposition anyway, McCready?
Knowing about me is not going to make us friends, Jensen. But I'll humor you. Fine. I joined regular army straight out of secondary school, made UKSF at 25 and was recruited into the SRR 4 years later.
Special Reconnaissance Regiment. That's an elite unit.
Oh yeah, it was very glamorous. All champagne and blowjobs.
So what happened?
After 12 years hunting terrorist shitbirds across every desert on the face of the earth, I found there was no fucking end to the evil this world churned out. I couldn't see the point in what we were doing anymore. So I quit.
So what brought you back to the life?
I suppose it was purpose. A tool without a job to do can only grow rust. So here I am, back in it, serving my purpose. As a tool yourself, mate, you should understand that, yeah?
Yeah, I got it. It was nice talking to you, McCready.
No, it wasn't.
Overlook, however, is the damage these hackers leave in their wake.
Dr. Ozan, you have an outside call cleared and waiting.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Adam, hang on a sec. Filling out supply request forms for McCready and his boys is tedious as hell, but I don't want to give him another reason to say no.
Say no to what?
Are you kidding me? Right now, you're the only active augmented agent we have. I'm hoping to change that, been asking him every week practically, but so far, permission denied.
Really? He gave you a reason?
Says my stress levels are too high. Told me I should sign up for meditation classes and drag Chang in with me so he'd chill out and stop changing security codes all the time. It sucks because I really wanted to find out who those crashers in Dubai were.
I still can't believe Miller gave the gold mask case to McCready.
Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. You were there too. You're probably as pissed about those guys getting the drop on the team in Dubai as McCready is. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there. Agent Singh might have been killed.
You were saying your stress levels were affecting your chances of becoming a field agent. Why is that?
I have a rare resistance to neuropazine. I need more than the average person, especially in stressful situations. They say I'd be too expensive, so it's not just discrimination. That would be easier to deal with. It's a combination of things.
Well, that combination of things is pretty bad in Prague, and getting worse.
I know, but Interpol was the only agency who would give me a chance, and this is where I was assigned. I have no problem with that. I'll take whatever they throw at me.
Good.
It took me months of rehabilitation, getting used to the new arm, learning how to shoot again, learning how to tie my own boots. But I did it, and I'm better than I was before. I want to help, and I can. My place is out there in the field where I can make a difference. You know that. And if you can do it, so can I.
Don't give up, Arya. Semper Fi.
Hoorah.
After the bombing, when Chang changed all the locks and codes, was he under orders? Was there a credible threat to our location?
Maybe, but I don't think so. You know how he gets. Still, he wasn't the only one overreacting this time. A lot of people have been here for over 36 hours, and the state police have not exactly been cooperative.
I can imagine.
It took several hours before we got the security footage from the train station and surrounding streets. It's like they don't trust Interpol. It's weird. I can almost understand Chang's paranoia.
Well, Chang doesn't trust anyone, especially anyone in law enforcement.
Well, if you thought he was high-strung before, the attack only made him more manic. He's making connections no one else sees, and some that may not be there.
Explosions tend to damage things like sensitive electronic equipment.
Right? Try telling him that.
Well, I better let you get back to work.
Yeah, sure. Talk to you later.
you've decided you need some practice, huh? You know the best tip my training officer ever gave me? Reload your weapon before it's empty. Saves time. If you zoom in using iron sight, you'll acquire targets faster. Try it. You'll see the difference. Of course, you know a headshot is the fastest way to take down a target. But watch out for helmets. They'll slow you down. Okay, if your target is wearing armor, it'll do less damage per round. Let's try armor piercing this time. You're right. Remember that, Agent. The right tool for the right situation. Could save your life. Now, let's take a look at the technical targets. These are tougher to disable using regular ammo. They tell me shooting security devices isn't usually the best way to go. You should try to disable them. Once you've disabled a security device, your armor-piercing rounds will take it out more easily. You should always have at least one backup weapon, so you can improvise, adapt, overcome any situation. Hoorah! Seems like you're warmed up now. Let's go over some of the other aspects of your weapons. I like how silencers reduce sound, but the trade-off is less stopping power, less damage per hit. See how much extra ammo you need because of the silencer? Back to normal. But if you need to be quiet, Adam, the silencer's the way to go. Just remember the decreased damage. You know, there are several other types of attachments you can use to upgrade your weapons. Keep your eyes open for them.